Dungeons & Dragons players and DMs, don't just run a dwarf, gnome, or Goliath character, but bring immersive depth into your game by truly embodying what it means to walk a mile in those adventuring boots. Give me a couple minutes and I'll show you why you're going to want to check out Races of Stone, a 3.5 book, or better yet, watch Season 9 of Scriptomancy right here. Published by Wizards of the Coast in August 2004. This book was the first of the Races of series, which goes into the deep lore of its constituent races, again in this case, dwarves, gnomes, and what was then the newly introduced Goliath race. While it does include classes and equipment specific to the 3.5 mechanics, its treasure lies in the deep backgrounds and vibrant cultures that it paints for each race. Even if you can't use some of that material directly in your 5e game, it includes amazing inspiration to use in your own campaign. The first 3 chapters are dedicated to deep lore in the exploration of the dwarves, gnomes, and Goliaths. It starts with a day in the life of, and it goes into depth into the psychology, organizational structure, society, norms, laws, religions, everything else that you want to know about what it's like to truly live in one of those societies. For instance, did you know that the dwarves have a god dedicated to the festive side of their race? Or why the gnomes have a deep passion for art and illusion magic? Look, there's so much inspiration in this book, you can even draw from things that are specifically written for 3.5 for your 5e game. For example, prestige classes. You can still draw from the stalwart dwarven Deep Warden, the charismatic gnome Blade Bravo, or the inspiring Goliath Dawncaller. And even though they're not going to be prestige classes per se in your game, you can still use them as titles, honorariums, or key societal positions in the game that you're running. And it's not even just prestige classes. There's unique equipment, mounts, and magic items that's going to add that depth and history to those cultures. Imagine your dwarf using a weapon that was actually made in a magical forge, or your gnome riding high on a dire badger, specifically bred through generations in that gnome community. There's things like the dwarven craft item quality and ruin circles, all of which are going to add new elements of role-playing and world building. The book Races of Stone doesn't even just stop at the individual. Even if you don't want to read that much and we want to just put something in directly from the book, there's ready-to-made detailed communities. You ever want to visit a high mountaintop Goliath settlement or a hidden wondrous gnome village full of contraptions? The book has you covered. There is so much more to cover in this book, so I hope you'll join me this season. Please hit that follow button, please like me, and join me on this journey of exploring the Races of Stone.